Oh, there you go. Yes, finally. Anyway, very nice discussion about this frequency treatment that is a project happening in Brazil. Is a free, and I hope they will be successful, and very soon we'll be here from, people being healed, right? It's amazing. Using different frequencies to heal the soul. So today, last time that we met, it was actually a while ago. I apologize for that, but it has been very busy times for me. And but anyway, so we take from here August the 8th. And do I have a volunteer for opening prayer? I need one. My day started, the way that my day started was a little bit awkward, to say the least. But anyway, if you don't, then I can do it, no problem.
Do you want me to read what's on the screen?
No, this is not a prayer. This is just for us to why we do. But that's okay. I can do it.
Okay.
So dear Lord, here we are again, reunited all together in your name, because of you, because of the love you have for us. May we all keep our hearts open, our mind open for your teaching, so we can finally not only understand from intellectual standpoint, but also practice them. And one day we have the chance not to teach someone else, but help someone else because of our example, because of the way we deal with our challenges, because of our attitude. So stay with us, dear Jesus. Stay with us, our mentors of our families, mentors of this group. Stay with us today as you are with us right now, but stay with us tomorrow and always. Do never allow us to go astray, because it is in our heart this will to stay close to you always. So stay with us, stay with all the ones who could not connect with us today. Stay with our family members, our houses and friends. And so be it. Okay, so we do start. Okay. I was studying it's kind of a topic that I'll be covering tomorrow in our Spirit Center. It is about the freedom. And we did study this as we studied the moral law book. And the question that I have tomorrow for the audience is, do we really have freedom? And just a sec, Maria, I will, let me finish this. And the answer is quite surprising, because the more we study, the more I study, at least, the more I understand that our freedom is really relative, is relative to our knowledge, is relative to our responsibility, is relative to our spiritual development. And as, for example, a mother will never give like a knife, for example, to a young child because she knows what's going to happen, right? So she knows the kid will not be safe because the kid doesn't know, the baby doesn't know what to do and doesn't know the consequences. So the same happens to us as God doesn't allow us to know everything, to do everything, because we cannot make a good use of that freedom. So he takes, is not a prohibition, but it is like a protection, is rather a protection, right? Because he knows the consequences and he knows we cannot bear, I'm saying he, but whatever, you guys understand, it's out of, is he, she, it, doesn't matter, but God knows the consequences, and God knows that we cannot bear with the consequences if we do something wrong because of our ignorance, because we do not know really what's going to happen. So, and then there is this other freedom, is the freedom of thoughts. And there is this question about freedom of thoughts. Is there anything in human beings that escape all limitations and of which they enjoy absolute freedom? And the answer is they enjoy unbounded freedom in their thoughts, as there is no obstacle to thought. Look, the spirits, they are not saying that we do have the freedom. They are saying we need to pay attention to the exact words. They enjoy unbounded freedom. However, do we really have that freedom? The more we study, the more we understand that we are like this string of lamps, this daisy chain. And we know that we are all connected to magnetic field, through these magnetic fields. And we know that our thoughts, now we know, in the past we didn't, but now more than ever, with all the quantum physics, etc., 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 we understand that our thoughts, as a matter of fact, there is lots of questions and answers in the Spirit's book about this. Our thoughts, they produce something, right? Our thoughts will create something. To do something bad, some people, they use material things. They use a cell phone, they use a gun, or they throw stuff. But you realize that today, lots of us do not need to use material things to do harm. We just wish. And that is powerful. I can do wonderful things. Leda just suggested, okay, so let's get the name of that person. So we pray for the person. So we know that our thoughts, our vibrations, we can create wonderful things. We can heal people, or we can harm people. So do we really have, knowing that our thoughts can create things, do we have the freedom to think whatever, knowing that first, if I lodge in my mind only negative thoughts, If I know that the first one to get the harm from those thoughts is going to be me, evidently, and then whoever will be connected to me. So my thoughts will create some vibration, and that vibration will have some consequences in the or action, reaction in that magnetic field. And one day that will come back to me. But in the meantime, I caused some harm or good, depending on the quality of my thoughts, to others. So that's the food for thoughts today, is about the freedom and whether or not we really have the freedom to do everything. We know we do have freedom, but that freedom is relative. We have elements that kind of regulate our degree of freedom, right? But I want to say that we have the freedom, and we have all the freedom to actually act according to the divine law, according to the natural laws, right? Like over right now, we have all the freedoms to go anywhere, to do whatever, according to the laws that we know, the civil laws. But I'm talking about something in another degree, like spiritual freedom and divine laws or natural laws. And yeah, that's what I would like to talk about it today. You know, that we have a responsibility with our thoughts, and we are accountable. God holds us accountable for our thoughts. So the more we know how powerful they are, so the more aware and vigilant we need to be. Yeah. So Maria thought it. Sorry, I
Anna, I don't know if we have a problem, but the slide you are sharing with us in my screen is very small. I can't read it. I don't know about everyone, but I
Yes,
can
it's
read.
small. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like about an inch and a half by 3 inches.
that's weird
Very
because
small. I can read.
Yeah, you can't read it. There's a big black square with nothing in it that
Great.
says no note.
Now it's perfect, Anna.
oh, okay. Sorry. Sorry, Maria. I was just out. I didn't want to lose my train of thoughts. But anyway, so the question is about the discussion was about these two questions, you know, that is about freedom of thoughts. Is there anything in human beings that escape all limitations and of which they enjoy absolute freedom? They enjoy unbounded freedom in their thoughts, as there is no obstacle to thoughts. Now we know what the obstacles are. Is actually the knowledge that we are responsible for those thoughts. And by the way, as we and this is so nice to think about it, it's not about denying the bad thoughts when they come, because they will come. We are not perfect. There will be some thoughts that they're not good, they're not positive. It's not about denying them. It's not about, you know, kind of putting them underneath the carpet. It's not about it. The exercise is, okay, so why am I thinking about it? Why are those thoughts coming to me right now? Why this is happening to me? Because the more we ask those questions, the more we know ourselves. Those thoughts, they come for a reason, And that's the reason we want to know. If we just continue to, oh, this is a bad thought, and put behind me, we'll never really know who we are and why those things are happening to us. So all of this is about educating our thoughts, educating our feelings, educating our thoughts, and then educate our mind so we can actually get more and more control of our thoughts, our feelings, but more than anything, be more knowledgeable about who we are, in fact. So, Leda, you have a...
There's a medium here. Can you hear me well? Because the
Yes.
TV is on. My grandma is here today.
Oh, we don't
so
hear
I'm
the TV,
sorry.
we just hear you.
We have a medium here in Brazil called Ivone Pereira do Amaral, and
She's excellent.
she's great. She's very connected to Bezerra de Menezes, and she tells a story about a lady who had a problem in the birth of her first child, and she couldn't walk again, and she couldn't move again, and she had to stay her whole life on the bed and being helped by other people. So, and she had everything to be depressed and nervous, but she decided not to. She decided to be happy and to keep a positive attitude. So it's actually, she couldn't do a lot, but as her thoughts were always good and vibrating well-being for everybody around her, so she always had friends around her, people that she would help, and she would talk to them, and she would give them the best that she had, and even teach some kids, and she could do a lot just with her thoughts. And that story made me think a lot about people who can't do much, but they can help with their thoughts. They can pray, and you can take everything from a person, but you cannot take their thoughts, their willing to be good, and their ability to pray. And that's why praying is one wonderful, amazing thing, because you can be everything in with all limitations, but you can still pray, so I think that's very beautiful.
Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, this obstacle is just because of the physical body, but as a spirit, she has all the freedom, right? And there is one of the things about thoughts that Kardec, it is in Kardec's book, is even though we cannot see the fact of or your thoughts, but that's how the spirits, they see you. It's like printed in your auric field, the quality of your thoughts, the what you really are thinking. So that's how you attract good or bad spirits based on the quality of their thoughts and what they can see in your auric field. And well, if they spirits, if they can see this, we as human beings, we can sense people who hold good thoughts, good vibration. That energy will be there, right? So it's very natural. Maria, thank you, Lida.
Oh, yes, I was unmoved. In a book by Emmanuel, through the Chico Xavier's psychography, he said that freedom of thought is a great danger when we allow ourselves to live whatever we want in our imagination.
Mhm.
Monitoring what we imagine is a great challenge of self-control and self-knowledge.
Yes.
The danger lies in thinking that we can do whatever we want. But like you said, we don't know, we don't take into consideration the spiritual companions we attract.
Yes.
Jesus said in the gospel that if you betray it in thought, you really have, in fact, committed betrayal.
A betrayal. Yes. Yeah.
Very important to
And that's why it's so important for you not really to deny and put behind you, well, I cannot. No. What this is not the right exercise. The exercise is, why is this thought coming to me? That's what it is. That's the self-control that we need to really grasp it. Gloria.
There's a woman I follow, and I've done some of her training, and she's quite famous, Byron Kate. And she's all about monitoring your thoughts and your beliefs. And somebody asked her in one of her conferences once, and she's got lots of great quotes, but this one was my favorite. They said, "Are you ever upset or unhappy?" And she said, "Only if I believe what I'm thinking." And I thought that was so great. The other thing that came up for me when you were talking was, this is so important, and an example from our past, a public example from our past, was when President Jimmy Carter was interviewed, and these journalists asked him if he had ever felt lust, or if he had committed the sin of lust. And he'd never cheated on his wife, but to him, the fact that he had thought about it was a sin. And that, to me, is
that.
Love. He realized he's a very spiritual man, and he realized the power of his thoughts. And so that's and he was humiliated in our society for that. And yet at the time when they said it, it impressed me so much that he realized how important thoughts are.
Yeah.
They have a weight. The thoughts have a weight. And we talk about it in this Zoom a lot. Our intentions are so important.
Yes. Yes. But that's so normal. Society, we always ridicule the first ones, right? The brave ones would come with a different idea, with a new idea and new knowledge, and even though what he was saying was not new, but it was not the majority. So
it's very brave to say it in public.
it was, yeah. Well, not by coincidence, he occupied the position he did, right? So it was because of his merits. Not saying that he was perfect, but certainly, he was in that position for a reason, right? Anyway, so thank you all for the good discussion here. Why is not now is not moving? Okay, so finally. So book number 3, why is this? And we are actually, we are, go ahead.
Excuse me, pardon, but I want to talk about thought forms. I don't know if formas pensamento, thought forms.
I want, Maria, do you I really want to hold a meeting just to talk about that because I think that is so interesting topic that pretty much fill a whole hour. So would you mind doing a study with me, and then we can present that topic, the creations of our thoughts? Because I know there are some books out there about it.
Yes, it's a very important point because we need to talk about it when we talk about imagination. I will try to do a little release to talk in the next meeting, okay?
Let's do that, and then if we get together or talk, email or
Yes.
we can present something next time we meet, because I found this topic so fascinating. Is really when they say that we are like gods, we are like God, we are creators. That's what that is about, because we really can create things with our forms, and is more visible and tangible than what we think. So there are some books that outline all different forms and shapes that we create with our thoughts. And that's what
Yes.
Maria is talking about.
Yes, and if we think constantly about something, we create what in Spiritism we call thought forms. Okay? These are thoughts that take shape and follow us wherever we go.
Yes.
They are perceptible. How I can say it in English?
They're visible, they're tangible.
They're visible
from the spiritual standpoint.
Yes, yes, I think that's very important to talk about it.
Just so you guys have a good idea, when we read or we see those cartoons, and then one character is angry, and those
Yes.
light forms, and it's in the, believe or not, but this is more real than
yes,
than what we think. Those little shapes, and it's amazing, but it is exactly like that. There are some mediums that they were able to actually see it and describe it. There are some spirits that they described those shapes.
yes, it's very interesting because when the character thinks about something, the figure of what he is thinking appears in the dialogue box. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it's more real than what we think.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so we are in the book number 2, Spirits is Still, and we are right here between primitive normal world and form and omnipresence of spirits. So the last time we met was about this primitive normal world, the question, and the question was, do spirits live in a specific restricted region in space? And evidently, the answer, spirits are everywhere, right? But they are everywhere, but cannot go everywhere. And this is very logical, right? We know that we can go wherever our possibilities allow us to go. And I just wanted to remind you about, and I apologize, because in a regular day I would translate this, but I didn't have the time. I just had the time to stick the picture in here. So we know Chico used to say this. If you want to have a good idea of the spiritual dimensions or the spiritual realm, we just think about this onion. When you chop the onion and cut the onion in half, and then you see all these layers, these different layers. So he was saying, he used to say, it's not exactly like that, but it gives you a very good idea, because the higher the frequency, you know, the lighter, the higher the beings are, you know, more evolved. So we are here, and then there are other lower vibration zones nearby the crust of the planet. And as we go up, then you see the spirits, they will be more and more evolved. So that's what this is about. So if I am a spirit that my spiritual maturity, if you will, allows me to stay here, there is no way I can go up there to a higher realm. It's just physical, it's just not, in physics, this is just not possible, because there is a difference between my vibration and the vibration of that higher realm, or my frequency and the frequency of that higher realm. And likewise, again, guys, sorry, it is in Portuguese, but this is showing all the different categories or the classifications of the different worlds. So we have primitive worlds, we have planets of atonement, right, like Earth, and we have regeneration, happy worlds, and celestial or divine worlds. I cannot be in a divine world that soon. I cannot be in a happy world that soon. Maybe one day I will be in a regeneration world, but for now, yeah, I am what I was supposed to be, because, you know, that's you know, my degree of development, or my degree of maturity, allows me only to be here. So that's what this was about. Now we go to form and omnipresence of spirits. And the question is, do souls have a fixed, limited, and unchanging form? Maria, you are on mute.
Yes, about another question, we can compare the difference, the difficult to walk in the level to another level, like the difficulties we have to breathe in grandes alturas, porque o ar é rarefeito.
In higher altitude. Oh, that's a good comparison, yes. So
Okay.
the more elevated, so if we climb a high mountain like Andes or Himalayas, it's going to be very hard to breathe, right? Yeah, that's very good. Yeah, it's a very good idea, very good comparison. Yeah, likewise, we cannot just go from where we are and be up there one day, but not now. So any comments on, do souls have a fixed, limited, and unchanging form?
From the books from André Luiz, we know that they have the spiritual body is heavier in the environments in the closer to Earth atmosphere, and they are lighter in the higher realms. So this is one thing very well established. So
Yeah.
it can be heavier or lighter, the spiritual body. And of course they can change also, because we were talking about the thoughts, right? So if a spirit thinks very strongly that they're guilty of something and they are acting like animals, some spirits can get get some aspects of animals to their spiritual body, so they can look a little bit like animals, and or monsters, or they can be very beautiful on the other hand if they are very good souls. So, but this is all, the spirit can change a lot based on thoughts, right?
Yes. As a matter of fact, what you said, it is exactly what Dr. Paulo Frutuoso say. That's what they see in their materialization meetings, in the seances that they do. There are some spirits, for example, I remember he mentioned, he talked to us and he showed us this picture of a spirit in the last is you will notice this happened in a while ago. The spirit, he still had, because of his activity in the last incarnation, he still had this oh gosh, do you know those guys in the during the in the 1800s, 1700s, when they were executing people, beheading people? Do you remember how they used to dress? They were covering their head with a cap or something, right? They have only the
Executioners wore hoods.
it was a hood with two holes, right? So they could see. So that's exactly how that spirit did show up in the materialization meeting. And he said that hood was attached to his physical, but he could not take it because it was part of his shape. And that was something, well, he did that because he was already in this process of redemption. He was aware already of all the but he was allowed to show up in that spirit, in that meeting for few minutes only, because his only presence could, the vibration could cause some harm to the other folks, to the incarnated one. So he was allowed to be there for a few minutes, and it was explained that he could not really take off that hood because right now it was part of he had to face it. He had to, so he was deformed, but it was like an effect to all his wrongdoings. Yeah, Maria, please. You are not on mute.
Regarding the shape of the body in the spiritual plane, we have many possibilities, but the most common is that immediately after death, we maintain the shape of our last existence. As time passes in the spiritual plane and with our internal balance, we can choose to adopt the physical form of another incarnation.
Mm-hmm.
Many spiritual guides in our mediumistic meetings that appear like an old black man.
Mm-hmm.
But we know that the spirit chose that form because when he was a
Slave, yes.
They give our spiritual libertation,
Freedom.
and he likes to be a black old man.
I see. Yes. So as the spirit evolves, so he can choose whatever shape. Sometimes, and most of the times, the higher beings, they picked the shape or the form of the incarnation that actually provided them with a higher
level,
with that actually taught them the most. And that's what Maria is talking about. As a slave, several people, they realize a lot of things. They really acquired a deep knowledge, so they pick that shape and they show and they present themselves in those meetings as a slave, as an old black man or women, because it was exactly that incarnation that provided them with the most or the best experiences for them to grow, to learn how to be humble, to learn how to forgive, to learn a lot of things, so they pick that shape, they pick that form. But it's interesting when we see the question, and you guys did exactly what the answer is about, but there is some. Okay, go ahead, computer. The answer is, for us, so do souls have a fixed, limited, and unchanging form? For us, when they say for us, spirits, yes, but not for you. So the spirits, they see the same, but we see different shapes. You can imagine them as a flame, gleam, or ethereal spark, because that's what we are. We are light, right? So that's how we are seeing. And that's, as a matter of fact, that the higher the degree of that spirit, and then the less need to be seen in a shape form he feels, because we are all light. So that's what he's talking about. Leda, please.
I think what they mean is that for them, if they are in the same vibrational level, they see each other as a normal person. So many spirits don't know that they have died, because there's a book by André Luiz in which they go to a spiritual city because they deserve to be in a good place. And they try to tell people that, hey, they have died, but they don't believe they have died, because they see each other as we do here. So,
yes, yeah, exactly. That's another aspect of this answer as well, because we do not change our shape as we go to the spiritual realm, but to the next incarnation, that will be a change. We'll be seen different. I will assume, or I will take the shape of whatever form I have next time, right? So right now, if I die today, tomorrow you guys will see me like this. But if in my next incarnation I take the body of a man, no, then I will change, right? That's what that is. But in essence, we are all light. So shape is really a circumstance. It's a matter of circumstance. So the question is this sorry, is this flame or spark? It's not flame. Is this flame or spark colored? Led, I remember you mentioned something one day about it.
Oh, but that's what, as we as mediums here see the spirits, right?
Uh-huh.
But
I think now in this question they are talking about the higher beings, when you see spirits as, they glow, as they have this light.
yeah, the higher beings, they usually say that the saints have this
Halo.
This halo, because of the light that goes, they spread some light of their thoughts, of their love. So they have that. But I mean, I believe when they say flame or spark, it's I think Maria and Vlad would speak better, because they're mediums and they see the spirits. They see the spirits sometimes. And I believe that the ectoplasm, when we see them, the ectoplasm is kind of like a ghost and kind of blue, or but we should listen to them.
Yeah. Okay, so Maria should just step up for a minute.
Can I ask Vlad?
Yes.
Em Vlad, você já viu os espíritos em forma de uma luz colorida? Você já viu alguma coisa nesse sentido?
Geralmente são esferas, né? Nas reuniões você fala de ectoplasmia, né? Porque hoje
Geralmente
tem
se
sido
fala...
muito... Então, parecem mais esferas hoje. Porque não, pelo menos as que a gente foi, né, as reuniões de ectoplasmia, hoje não são de materialização completa. Então, parece essas esferas luminosas. Mas, assim, muitas pessoas relatam isso, né, as que presenciam. É isso que você está falando?
Na verdade, eu estava falando dos espíritos mesmo. Você já viu espíritos como luzes, como com cores?
Você não tá falando de...
Não, estou falando dos espíritos mesmo.
Sim, então, tem cores. Normal.
Normal, você vê
fala através da evidência? Normal.
Você vê normal, né?
Você, I never saw the spirits with colors. Like Vladimir, I see like I see you, like I see me. Sometimes the many spirits that are suffering, they don't have a good look, but I don't see them black. I don't see them black. I can see that they aren't good. When my spiritual guide will talk with me, I see him like I see you. I think that is the experience in the mediumistic meetings is a very different from this question.
Yeah, like Vlad said, I think they mean in the materialization meeting. So when they get materialized, they may have different colors. I think so.
Yeah.
Mas
What I have seen
But
in my
if I could, I like
you like to see that way.
to see the
What
color. I
what I
would
have
like.
what I have seen in my experience, I didn't have too many occurrences, but I had the opportunity to see two different types. I had the experience to see, like Maria was talking about, someone exactly like us. I had the experience to see spirit, like it's not the spirit was black. I saw lack of light. It was dark because of lack of light. And I saw the opposite. The light was so intense that I could not see shape very well. The light was too intense. So but there is a color, they say. And so, for example, when we say the answer that they answered, like, to you, you vary between a dull gray, that's what I saw, like a dull gray, actually darker than that, and brilliant ruby, depending on the degree of the spirit's purity. So they say, for example, that some spirits, like in the degree of Jesus, is like ruby. You know, you see this ruby
Vladimir
color.
and me, we don't work with spirits.
Spirits like me neither. Me neither. It's not my level yet. Gloria, please.
When we were at the Spiritist conference in Orlando,
Mm-hmm.
during the prayer, when I saw Shayla,
Yes.
she looked just like the picture that you have for our class. So what she was showing me wasn't her, it was a picture of her. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
She wouldn't appear that. In other words, what I wasn't seeing her, I was seeing a picture of her when she was incarnated.
You were seeing the look she had when she
Right.
was incarnated. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was not picture, it was the
They
way
can
that
do
she
both.
presents herself.
They can do both. They can show us how they looked, or we can see how they look. And how they are is this dull gray to brilliant ruby, not as we show up here.
Yeah, they do have the option. They can choose how they want to present themselves. In this case, for example, for a spirit like Jesus, I think most people will want to see his shape as Jesus. I would say, if we deserve that appearance, but not like a brilliant ruby shape, sphere or light.
But they do have a natural light, which they can fade on purpose to try not to be humble, right? To be closer to us sometimes.
That's an excellent point, because they know. Sorry, Vlad, let me. Oh, desculpa, Vlad, deixa só eu terminar aqui they know this glow kind of intimidate the ones who do not have that glow. There is a book that André Luiz wrote, dictated through Chico, and he's talking exactly like that. And he says that he didn't realize he was supposed to have this glow, to have this light, because to him it was like anybody else, until he saw someone glowing from the heart, or when saying a prayer, and then he realized, oh, this really exists. But like Leda said, some spirits, they are so conscious about their light that in order to avoid intimidating others, they just fade that glow. And yeah. Vlad.
Só para mim não ficou claro. É o seguinte, a Leda, quando ela perguntou, eu entendi que ela estava perguntando sobre perispírito, porque aqui a questão está tratando do espírito, né?
Uhum.
Só do espírito, não no perispírito. O perispírito a gente vê normal, com cores, parece uma pessoa como a gente, né? O espírito mesmo eu nunca vi, não. Essa chama, isso eu nunca vi,
É
não.
mais raro,
Mas
ninguém vê. Vladimir is making he's calling attention to a very good point. He's saying what we see, like when Gloria saw Sister Shayla, or Shayla, the spirit of Shayla, what you saw was the perispiritic body, right? Not really the spirit, because the essence of the spirit, is very rare to have that kind of vision. And most of the time, what we see is really the oh my goodness, why they have just to come up with those complicated names? It's the perispiritual body. So, and that's the shape that they can put in whatever form they want to be seen. So yeah. Okay, so 4:10, we have time for one more question that I would. Do spirits require any time to travel through the space? I think is a common, right, that we.
I think that also depends on the level of the spirit. So the high level spirits, they probably don't, but the ones that are heavier, they will require time.
Yeah, the answer to the question 89, and yeah, you're right, but they say the answer is yes, we do require some time to travel through the space, but their travel is rapid as a thought. And let's
That's
remind
for the higher
that,
spirits.
yeah, let's remind that time is a dimension that actually belongs to us. Right, so for the spirits, 1,000 years, for the spiritual realm, 1,000 years is like nothing. So they do not sense time the same way as we do. It's different. Yeah. Maria.
This mobility, according to thought, reminded me of a verse from Jesus that says, for where your treasury is, there your heart will be also.
Your heart, yes.
Your heart will be also. This ease of movement is linked to factors in my mind. The evolution of the spirit in the power of one's will.
Yeah, that's what Leda was saying. Yeah, exactly. Is according to the spirit evolution and how powerful the spirit's will is.
But
yeah.
If your treasury, my treasury is to stay with you, my mind will leave me beside you.
Exactly. Yeah. And like you guys were saying, all of that, how we travel through the space, how powerful our thoughts are, how we glow or do not glow. It's all about, again, apologies. I didn't have time to translate all these classifications of the spirit, but this is saying, we have basically, it's not exactly like that, but we have basically three spirit groups of classification. Is the first group is the pure spirits. The second group is good spirits, and the third one imperfect spirits. And we have several different classifications in those groups, but the idea is we still have a long way to go because we can pretty much understand that we are in this group of imperfect spirits. And when we say imperfect, we are not saying that they are not good, they do not have any intention to do good. We are just in this slope, in this learning curve, right? But we still have some irresponsibilities. We still believe that we know more than what we know actually, or sometimes we don't do bad things, we do not do wrongdoings, but we do not do any good things anyway, as well. So we are still here. And then the good spirits, they are the ones who acquire a little bit more knowledge. They are wiser, they are prudent, they are benevolent. So it is the intention, according to the intention in doing good. How what is the prevalence, if you will, of that intention in doing good? So that's how this classification is done. And then the pure spirits, all good, 100% good, 100% good intentions, etc. So next time, let's see. Oh, I have something to say. Let me